Did we have? Oh, we are being recorded, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another wonderful, spectacular, super fantabulous episode of Sport Dolls Podcast. Yours truly, Josh, being your co-host, but the main leader, as always, Mr. Dean Doll.
Welcome, YouTube and Spotify. Spotify comments, we will do better explaining because obviously you're not looking at the screen like we are. Jed, I will take care of that. But this is exciting for the conference championship week.
I was gonna say we got a lot riding on it, and I was gonna say big week calls for a big guest. And ladies and gentlemen, though stature-wise she may not be the biggest, attitude, sass, spunk, intelligence, and all that wonderful Southern accent, proud to call her the cousin, but also known as the greatest doll around. Ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin Doll, welcome.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was quite the introduction. Happy to be here, everyone.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't going to sell you short.
No, you didn't. And I don't think I've heard. I like the sassiness. No, yeah. Happy to be here, everyone. Didn't really like. I'm not going to do it by the rules. My picks are definitely not traditional. The way that I went about picking them are not traditional, but I'm excited. I'm here for the ladies. Honestly, I feel like most ladies would agree with where I'm going with this, so I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited to hear more about this. And I was gonna say before we get too far into this, because I know we're just gonna keep rolling and rolling. We definitely need to get that intro. Sorry, Spotify listeners, you do not get the wonderful visual spectacular that is the YouTube Sport Dolls introduction. Dad, please, without further ado.
You only get to listen to the jazzy music, but here it's coming right at you. Oh, that was awesome.
Damn.
Whoa.
Wow. That was so amazing. I feel bad for all the listeners that they can't see that.
Yeah.
It's sad, right?
That's ridiculous.
I know.
And you were close to that putt that Josh made to blow out the end of the intro. You were there. It was Doll weekend.
Yeah. Wow.
What do you think of that putt that Josh made, Kate?
That was just phenomenal. Honestly, I just don't know what to say, you know?
Yep.
We're just they're not there right now. It's just how amazing it is, you know?
Speechless is a common thing that it leaves the guest pickers, that's for sure. I've been seeing it for 14 weeks already, and, the 15th time is just as good as the first, let me tell you.
Before we move forward, I am Caitlin, Kate, this is so awesome to have you. This is, and we'll go through the connection that you currently have and all that. But before that, listeners and viewers, you do not understand. These two guests, Josh and Kate, bring the sass attack when they're together, and it's very weird to see them so respectful to each other.
I think the biggest saying I would compare it to is game, respect, game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we both bring a lot of personality. We bring the fun. Everyone knows that is, whether your friend group, my friend group, or we're in the same room together, it's not going to be quiet. It's not going to be dull. And we're going to have a good time no matter what.
No, yeah, that's for sure. I also was meaning to ask you, Josh, what about those Christmas cards? We never worked out the plan for the Doll family Christmas cards with little Harrison being little baby Jesus.
Oh, that was so much potential. I was going to say, we had so much potential. That was a late night idea, and it was a damn good one at
It
that.
was.
Yeah.
A lot of good
Unfortunately-
ideas come at that time of the night.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. We'll take a little step back to fill you guys in.
Yeah.
You know, the Dolphin
Bridge the gap.
is the Dolph family is not a big family. So like let's from grandparents on down to present, you know, I was gonna say we got grandpa and grandma. Grandpa and grandma had 2 boys, Dean and Ryan. And then each of those boys had 2 kids, Ashley, Caitlin, Alex, and Josh. And that's it. And there and then now I have Harrison. So you take that, so we're at 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6, 10 direct family members there, and then you sprinkle in a couple of spouses, and that is legitimately the family where people are like, no, our family's like 70, 80 people with like cousins and everything. I'm like, yeah, my cousin, like aunts, uncles, and cousins is like, 20 tops. Yeah. So it's but at the same time I kind of like it. It's just a small knit tight group, and it's easier to get together, and when we're all together it's still like it's not overwhelming. It's just like literally just feels like 2 groups come together finally. It's awesome.
Kate, since Josh rambled on that incredibly long journey, he never did get to the Christmas cards.
Yes.
What was it?
So let's just say when the Dolph family reunion happened of our small group that Josh was talking about, we had this wonderful idea after a couple of drinks in that for Christmas cards, because Christmas is coming up, we thought it'd be so cool if Josh's new boy, Harrison, would be baby Jesus. And then Dean, Ryan, and Dale was there. So Dale's also part of the family. If they were the 3 wise men, and we were just, honestly, we were thinking about all sorts of Ashley and I, we could have been the farm animals. Obviously, we were going deep in thought, laughing. Obviously, Josh's Ashley would have been the Virgin Mary. And we thought, honestly, it was such a great idea. I'm very upset we didn't go through with it, but I think for the family reunion next year, we need to create like a nativity scene, take the pictures. That is going to be the doll Christmas card.
We need to plan ahead. So that's Christmas 2025. Because believe it or not, Harrison's still going to be a baby at 1 year old. He'll still be a baby.
Score.
Yeah. Super huge. We're limited on.
Good for the program. Yeah,
absolutely. I think this year planning the doll reunion, getting together, we need to make it happen. Props, beards, robes, you name it. Let's do it.
I would suggest, like you said, Kate, do it before hydration.
Or to make it more fun, we could do it like in the middle of the night. Because, Jesus was born in the middle of the night. Why don't we just do that after everyone's had a couple of drinks? And it would be a lot more entertaining. Although, I don't know with Harrison's schedule and all that, because he's the main character,
Depends if you want him crying or not. If you want him bawling out, let's do it at like 8:00 p.m. He is going to be throwing a fit. And, historians may be upset with me, but there's definitely bush lights in Bethlehem without a doubt. Right?
Respectfully, I agree.
This beer has been around for centuries, so it only makes sense.
It's good that we can actually see the can this time. It's not camouflage.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. I got rid of the camo cans. They're still out there, but they're fading. Hunting season has it's still present, but it's kind of come and gone a little bit. But yeah, Busch Light, good for everyone.
So, Kate, before we jump in looking at last week and moving forward, you were a part of, have been a part of, and going to be a part of teams that are big in college football. Backing up before we talk about last weekend, what is it like in Tuscaloosa on game day?
Okay, so whenever I went to Bama, that reign was during the Nick Saban era. My freshman year, the University of Alabama won the Natty against Ohio State.
Yep.
Being part of that was quite literally the most amazing thing I've ever experienced in my life. That's something where it's like, it's a bucket list item. Most people don't really get to experience going to a school that wins a Natty, especially with Nick Saban there.
And winning.
And winning. So, but quite frankly, because during the time that I went to Bama, we were so good. We were always number one. There was never going to be a question whether or not we won or lost. Most of the smaller games against some of the schools that weren't as good, like A&M, Mississippi State, like we would like Ole Miss, we'd play those games. Most of the time, people would leave the stadium like at halftime, and so University of Alabama did this thing where they tried to keep their students there, and so it was called "Play for Four, Stay for Four." So after halftime, everyone would put up number fours because people you just assumed that you were going to win. So people left halfway through to go start drinking and celebrating way before the game was even over. But of course, you had your game against Georgia, which was insane. People would stay. But honestly, most of the time, like, yes, it was a great football school, but we just knew we were going to win a lot of the time. And so it wasn't really taken as seriously as if our team were suck. But college game day, whenever they would roll in, the energy would be high. I mean, the stadium itself is amazing. They put in dollars of like a crazy light show. I mean, sometimes I do miss Bryant-Denny Stadium just because it's a lot more flashy than Kyle Field in College Station at Texas A&M. But overall, like, it's a party school and it's a football school, so it was great for the first year and a half of my college experience.
There you go. And then, like, all right, had that, great, off to A&M.
Yep, which was totally different. Going from, like, winning all the time, going home, being super proud, and then
Jimbo.
A&M.
Yeah.
To Jimbo Fisher, exactly.
Not
however,
the A&M, that's for sure.
Oh, gosh. But I will say the atmosphere in Kyle Field can never top any Alabama game. It doesn't matter if it's like Alabama against Georgia, Alabama in national championship. Kyle Field on like a regular Saturday playing a no-name school will be way more vibrant and way more fun and just so much more energetic than Alabama ever was. That's all I have to say. And I think it's because of the tradition of the 12th man. We have yell leaders, we do the chants, we do all of that. So, I mean, and I take that to the grave, and most people would agree with me that like Kyle Field is one of the most insane places to be at during a football game.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned that because you're our relative, Josh, Raji, and Jim. Jim is an A&M alum, a proud A&M alum. And the first time I saw Kyle Field, they hadn't closed in the end. It was just two massive sides with the ends. One end was totally open, and then the other end just had the bottom. And it is a massive stadium because you walk in, it's not like you walk down to the field. The field is at street level. And it's up high. And I just remember Jim always saying on game day, he said, the total town of College Station embraces game day.
Agreed. And it's like, and we even have a name for people that didn't really go to the games or do the chants. And at A&M, we call them the 2%ers because 98% of the student body at A&M participates in all of the traditions. So, and then the extreme A&M people that are like fifth generation Aggies, you call them red asses or red butts. I don't know if this is.
You said it, Caitlin. I was gonna say you can
that.
say.
But we'll just check that box on the explicit language.
Yeah, that's my bad. But no, I mean, I agree. Like they're called 2%ers for a reason because majority of the student population, they are involved in the tradition at A&M, which is why it's so fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's insane that you get so many people that like even the years that you were there still having a ton of fun and everything. Like they were not that good. Like after they joined the SEC, Johnny Football came in there sweeping it. They're like, yeah, okay, we belong. Then there was a big down years, many a years. Like
Currently,
even when there, you're like, yeah, maybe they'll win this game. I don't know. Like you go from spoiled rotten to like Alabama, where like we're gonna win if we don't win by 20, like unbelievable. It'd be like, all right, but there is something to add that a team that doesn't win a lot, you get that opportunity to win that big game, kind of a thing like that. Like the excitement of an upset is kind of electric.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I was also in College Station whenever it was the Alabama upset, whenever they won that like field goal. Yeah. Talk about just like you said, electric, people rushing the field. Like Northgate, the college bars were going crazy. People like don't live it down till this day. They still talk about. They're like, oh, remember that one time we beat Bama though? It's like, yeah, it was like 2.5 years ago, but they still talk about it.
It's funny that you say that because I legitimately remember where I was at when A&M beat Bama.
Yeah,
I was up at my buddy's house. He lives in Victoria, Minnesota, and we just kind of got together or whatever. And then Ashley and her cousin came up with us, and her cousin Cameron, a lot like you, Cameron. She's diehard, like awesome college student, diehard fan, Georgia fan though.
Oh.
And I was gonna say, all their SEC team, and hot take, watch out. But we were at this bar and whatever, and Ashley and Cameron would just be like, they would sneak off. And I'm like, where the hell are they at? Whatever. I'm hanging out. I got my best friends around me. And they'd come back just like snickering. I'm like, where the hell have you guys been? And they're like, oh, we just sneak off to the bar and we just took a couple shots. I'm like, Jesus, good for you guys. But I remember that game was on the bar TV and Cameron is freaking out. And everyone's like, what the hell is wrong with this girl? Like, it's literally A&M Bama. Like, that means nothing in Minnesota. And the big thing was Alabama lost, and then Georgia took over as the number one seed. And that girl was hammered. And I think she asked me about 5 times. She goes, wait, so if Alabama lost, does that mean Georgia's number one? Like, yeah. Yeah, it does, Cameron. And I had to repeat that every 30 minutes. It was great.
That's so fun. Yeah. It's like one of those moments where it's like, I remember where I was when that happened. Yeah.
Like as soon as you started talking about it, I'm like, I too also remember where I was at. So it was celebrated in Victoria, Minnesota, not nearly as hard as College Station, but that's what I'm saying. It's like that big upset game. Everyone wants to beat Bama. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's just fireworks. It's insane.
Yeah, I agree. And there was something crazy, like because they had rushed the field, A&M got fined $250,000. It was something crazy like that. And I don't know if you know, but A&M is the biggest university, like in the U.S., I believe. I don't know. Sometimes it fluctuates between NYU and A&M, but because of that, we have a huge alumni association. Mm-hmm. And there was word that got spread around that the minute that A&M got fined, there was this oil guy, old A&M alum, like worth a lot of money. He just wrote the check to the A&M foundation for $250,000 and said, like, let the kids fund. Like, that's just crazy. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that was like a rumor that multiple people had told me, and I was like, damn. Go for it, I guess. But
I was gonna say it's probably not far from the truth. I mean, the fact that it went straight to that, maybe, but the fact that this guy probably wrote a check for $250K, probably pretty realistic, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, look at the 75, like at the game right before Jimbo got fired, the A&M Alumni Association presented the football program with a $75 million check. That was just so happened to be the cash that bought Jimbo out. So we were at Jimbo's last game and we saw his check be presented to the football program.
That's,
So
Wow.
yeah, they were ready to get him out of there, and his
Yep.
contract was way too long.
they're just like, yeah, all right, let's just sign this check. Everyone chip in.
They were like, bye, we don't want him here.
$250,000 to $1 million, whatever you feel your worth is, and let's get this mofo out of here. All right, 75 million, good. All right, bye.
Done.
Crazy.
No,
And
it's funny when you
they're-
because Josh and I, Harrison wasn't as much in the game. Alex, Odin, we were watching Minnesota and Wisconsin for the Axe. And then we were just all reminiscing because way back when Texas and A&M were in the Big 12, it was always the Friday night game. And I know Alex and I talked about it, but Josh, do you remember us setting up shop and watching A&M in Texas on Friday night when you were little?
I mean, I remember being, I was gonna say, I was watching for UT. Obviously, I was
Same here.
I was a bandwagon UT fan, absolutely.
Yeah, way back in the day, it used to be around like Thanksgiving time. And so I remember specifically the last game that they played, we were in Wall, and I put on like my UT pajamas, and we had like the dinner on the table, and we were watching the game. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of pictures of us watching the UT and A&M game. And I was always decked out in UT gear, obviously.
Yeah,
so that was more so like a house divided, but
Oh, I was gonna say your family's got you got kind of a lot of Southern schools covered. So obviously, Mom, Aunt Lisa here got UT covered there, which is great. You got Alabama, A&M, and now you are adding SMU to the resume.
Yes, you are title girl.
Right? I know. Pony up. That's literally all I have to say. Pony up.
I was gonna say you're correct. You had like true I'm a believer, like, even though like part of like master's programs, like sure you're part of the university and stuff like that, but I mean there's nothing like your undergrad school and everything like that. You're like, that's diehard, like that's my school, and
I agree.
Two of the best.
Yeah, and I mean also I feel like I associate more with like people that went to A&M or Bama than like normal SMU students. Right. So just getting my degree from there. Good business school. That's all I gotta say.
Well,
but I am happy they're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another reason. You're just adding another school to your resume so that when like Bama, A&M, or SMU does well, you're like, yep, yeah, that's
because of me.
Team. Got them.
Right, exactly. And because y'all are saying that, I think maybe after my MBA, I should go get my PhD from like Georgia. I think that would be fun.
Hit a Georgia.
Let's just cover it all.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got SEC. Well, but here's the thing. Hear me out. You got the SEC covered with Alabama, A&M. You got a little bit of the Big 12. Maybe get a PhD within the Big 10. Just don't go to Ohio State. Maybe
you got the ACC covered.
I do have. I was looking into Minnesota's business school, but they have like they've got restrictions on like how many years you have to work before you can apply, which was like 3 years at Minnesota. And so I was like, I didn't really want to wait 3 years and then apply. But I was looking at Minnesota for shits and gigs, and I was probably gonna, I don't know, live up there if I wanted to. But,
in the winter?
I don't know. Maybe that was too overzealous, but they did have an online program, so I mean, I still get their emails and everything.
Hey, but you got your program right now. You're set. You don't need to work.
I do. Like I said, that'll be in the future. If I decide to get another degree, I'll go to Minnesota or online. Online.
Online Minnesota.
Yeah.
But you have to come up here and you have to live at least a month. Caitlin, I'll house you. I'll feed you.
I would too.
Yeah, and but you gotta come up like January.
Or would it last?
Dude, it's tough. Like Ashley's cousin that came up and lived with us, the first winter she was up here from Georgia and Minnesota, it was hilarious. Her parents literally shipped her like boxes of winter gear and coats and everything, and I'm just like putting on my like 10-year-old jacket. I'm like, whatever. It's just another winter. And
No, y'all are a different breed up there. It takes a special kind of person to go through every winter what you guys go through. So I say kudos to anyone that
special
lives
up here.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say you survive a lot of bush lights, and then all of a sudden where we really sound crazy, like right now, everything's like the new cold. All right, like 10 degrees is cold. Like the first day that it hits below 0, you're gonna be like, damn, that's really cold. And then it'll get into like the negative 20s and 30s, and you'll be like, okay, that is cold. And then you hit 30 degrees in the springtime, and it is shorts weather, Caitlin. I am not kidding. Everyone's like,
short sleeves.
Yeah, I was gonna say you hit 30 degrees in the spring. You hit a 30-degree day in May. You are gonna see streets flooded with kids outside playing, and everyone wants to get outside because it's 30 degrees or above freezing, above 32.
Wow.
That is no shit.
No. See, I'm bundled up at 54. It's not. I can't fathom how you guys do that at all. Like 30 sounds freezing. It is freezing, but like I don't think I could survive in anything less than 30.
It is fun to listen to. So when I go to Arizona in the winter, because I don't see any reason to stay up here. I love my family, not quite that much. But you go down there and they're like, oh yeah, Minnesota, it gets below 0. And I was like, dude, there's some days that the high temperature is like -7.
Yeah. Those are the tough days when you look at the next week of forecast and you have high temperatures all in the negatives or at 0, and you're like, that's gonna be the warmest it's gonna be. And you're like,
okay. To combat that, in Texas, our summer was insane. In Bernie, we're technically like in a drought. Our river road in Bernie, like all the water is gone. A normal day in Texas is like 105. Feels like 110, 115.
Yeah.
Like,
see,
you can't take your dog on a walk because it'll burn their paw pads.
Yeah.
Like it's bad.
We gotta give our dogs boots so they don't freeze their paws. And I like literally we got a pair of boots for Elsie because it got it's the most adorable thing in the world. But
in no way.
I fought it so much. I'm like, she's a dog. It's fine. Like it's all good. And then we bought boots, and when it gets close to 0, she does not mess around. Like she doesn't go outside to do her business. She'd rather just pee in the house than do that. And I'm like, all right, we need boots. And if she's got her boots on and it's 0 degrees outside, she will play endlessly because her paws. She's good. Your dogs, on the other hand, in the winter, maybe not so good.
No.
Oof.
But needless to say, you're incredible. You've covered the southern hemisphere of the United States. But for the ladies, we need to get these picks done. And we need to. I want to hear how it happens. Now, I don't want to brag, but I'm pretty amazing.
Yeah, look at Josh. Wow. I was actually excited for you giving Darla a run. So, Kait, there's only been one undefeated person. That's Darla in 5 years, 5 seasons. Wow. Josh was. And UCLA won by 7, and I was like, man, if he doesn't get it, loses by a half. But then Oregon opened up a can of whoop butt.
Yeah, dude, Oregon stomped Washington, and that was brutal. But hey, this is the pick I needed. This is the week I needed here to try and make a run for maybe second place, but. Overall standings, basically for you non-viewers here.
Yeah, tell them what you did, what the scores were last week first.
The scores were I led it with 9. Dean had 7, and G had an okay week. Shooting. I was gonna say he got his confidence pick. He shot 50%. but he got a 6. So not great for the guests. You don't really have to fear me because if you go to the overall standings, I am still sitting at a whopping 75 with the guest pickers at 79 and Dean in the lead right now with 81 total points. But we got Caitlin that is going. It looks, as you can see here, we have 4 total weeks left of points to gain. So these picks are important to get the guests. You're in touching distance of winning it for the guests here. You got 4 games. I feel you need at least 3 of these right to stay in the run right now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Like I said, the way I'm picking it's not based on like stats.
Yeah.
So
Other thing.
Josh, fill Kate in on Darla's picks.
I was gonna say Darla's undefeated week. She picked. I mean, she went with her gut. She went with mascots. She went with cool stories of players on that team.
Okay.
And so if she heard anything good, positive story about a player on that team being a good person, you win over Darla's heart for sure.
Oh, that's such a Darla thing too.
It's incredible. She just seeks out great people because she's a phenomenal person herself, and she goes,
exactly. That's so wholesome. Like, why wouldn't we think? Yeah, of course you would do that. I'm not surprised.
Let's not cut Darla too much slack because in the week that she won, because back then we always had 10 games, and then we filled them in. And Josh, if you remember, it was Oklahoma playing somebody, and she was like, "Now, didn't we drive through Norman? Oh, that's a nice campus. I'm going with them."
Oh, yeah. Oh, great campus. Yeah. So Darla just had the good, positive vibes rolling with her. Good things happen to good people. And that's why she's a legend for having an undefeated pick. And I was getting so amped up last weekend when I was like, shit, I am about to touch greatness that only Saint Darla has touched right now. And and I was like, yeah, let's be real. It wasn't meant for me to get a week, but I came close and I was happy about it. But honestly, Caitlin, these games are probably the hardest to pick because the spreads are so small. They're conference championship games. Pretty much anything can happen. So I don't envy the easiness of some picks because you have 4 very hard games to pick.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get into it. So starting with the lovely Big 12 Conference. Iowa State, the pride of Iowa right now. Iowa State is playing Arizona State. Arizona State is favored by 2 points. Pretty much, who do you think's going to win this game?
Yeah, Kate, how far are you from this game?
Where are they playing at?
It's at Arlington.
Oh, shoot. Oh, wow. I'm like a 30 or 45-minute drive.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I could go if I wanted to. Maybe I should.
Go cheer on the Cyclones from Iowa State. Might as well.
Okay, Kate, let's hear your magic.
All right. So, like I've been mentioning, I'm not using any stats. What I did for every team was I went to their roster and I looked at the players and I made notes. So basically, the players that I think are the most attractive, that team with the most players wins. And so I made sure to keep track of the ones that I thought were cute too. And this also might expose me, but pretty privilege is a thing. And some of the teams have great looking guys, and then others are lacking, very much lacking. But
you go into a game, you're attractive, confident.
You know it. The aura. You carry such lore with you. People want to know what you're about. You walk onto the field, people assume if you know you're attractive, people, it happens. It happens.
I am very curious which roster is carrying you.
So I made a list of names. I even put attributes like that. Dominic Overby, Iowa State. My bad.
Iowa
I said
State,
he looked
yeah.
like he would open the door for me. He looked like a kind gentleman. Looks really nice. This guy Carson Robbins, all my ladies out there, he looks like Luke from One Tree Hill. He's on my roster.
Yep.
Arizona State, there's this guy named Jake Smith. He's a Texas boy. He looks like he could probably work at Edward Jones. He looks like the fine, nice finance guy. But overall,
Yep.
overall, Iowa State had 13 attractive picks, and Arizona State had 7. So I chose Iowa on this one.
Well, all right. Wow. I'm surprised by that.
I like the analytics.
Yeah.
You all want more? Eddie Lemos, he looked like he was a good Christian boy. Just by looking at him, I was like, yeah, he looked really nice.
That guy goes to church, and yeah,
After the game Saturday, no matter what, he's always in church Sunday. I can just feel it.
And you know he has a great voice for those hymns.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Well, how about that? Shout out to Iowa State. I was going to say, basically, Iowa State or Caitlin's picks are just going to tell you, if you're hot or not right now. So way to go.
What school to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Josh, that was very colorful.
Yeah, I like, attractive people just exude success.
That's true.
I know Arizona State is favored. My methodology this week, Ashley and I were just sitting upstairs before this, and I said, Ashley, there's only 4 games. I'm having a latte. Ashley's having a glass of wine. And I'm like, all right, Ashley, you just got to pick the winners right here. And
good choice.
I was going to kind of feel her out, see how it's going. I kind of had my mentality. And
this is a family show. You're not feeling anyone out.
I mean, I do have Harrison, so let's be real.
It's true.
But literally every pick that I was going to pick, Ashley picked, and I was like, that's meant to be.
Okay.
We're going with Iowa State. Not only, Arizona State's favored. That's fine. I don't care. Iowa State's been knocked down a little bit. I love the fact that Charlie Cloud, it gives me a reason. My best friend, Charlie Cloud, he's an Iowa State alum. I went and visited him, been to an Iowa State game numerous times. And they just have the hype right now. They have the absolute hype, and they're ready to go. They know that if they win, they are in the college playoffs. Like all these games,
whoever wins,
majority of these winners are going. All the winners are going.
Yes,
playoffs, and they're getting a first round bye, which is incredible. So they got a lot of hype on this one. I'm with you, Caitlin. Hot team success.
Right.
State.
Right.
Sorry, Josh, to correct you. They don't necessarily get a first round bye, but they will be in the playoff. I
thought conference champions were 1, 2, 3.
I thought the same thing, but it's that's not the case because some have Boise State getting the bye.
Oh yeah, I mean, whatever. Anyways, Iowa State's winning. Go Clones! Let's make it happen.
Okay, so here this is a conflict for me because Josh and I so appreciate the energy of Jack Trice Stadium. What Iowa State has done in football is amazing. And I don't think you've heard this, Kate, but Josh has. If I had a redo, turn the clock back, Josh, I would not go to Winona State. I would go to Arizona State.
Yeah, because of the hot girls, huh? Yeah,
I was gonna say they're known for having a lot of hot girls.
No, for the education.
I was gonna say even I know that. Like, damn.
Oh, and it's an incredible campus. It's warm. It does not snow in Tempe.
Just cover up. He's just saying it's incredible campus, great education.
This is the listening part of the show.
Great school.
But Kate, I do Dollalytics and I do stats.
Oh.
So I can't in
the numbers.
And Josh, you will appreciate this. Iowa, the other Iowa team, is number 1 in the fewest penalties.
Correct.
Iowa State is number 4, so it must be an Iowa thing. You don't commit penalties. On the flip side, Arizona State does, and they're 86 out of 132. Otherwise, these two teams match up extremely well. 10 wins, strength of schedule. Iowa State, their schedule. I know I'm boring you, but this stuff energizes me.
The numbers, Caitlin, gets him.
Do you feel it?
That's the podcast.
As much as I can, I guess.
I have Iowa State winning by 8.5, which is definitely winning, and we don't have to worry about ASU. And Josh, I have a former student, Elliot. That's all I'll say. I'll leave this, plant the seed. If the Clones win, he's our guest picker next week, and he is all in at Iowa State.
There we go. Absolutely. So
Dean choosing the hot guys over the hot girls.
That's it. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
That's it. Exactly. Sorry about it. See, those hot girls don't play the football, though. That's the tough part.
No, they don't.
That'll be a good
They just
one.
get the free drinks.
That's it. Yeah. See? Saving money. That's the thing. They're just a little bit smarter than us guys. That's for sure. Now, before
I curious about this next one for you two, because you have family connections.
I also have but yeah.
Yeah, a little bit there. So now we go to the wild world of the SEC. Now, I'm just going to take a hot second to just touch back that Georgia last week, doesn't matter win or loss, they're making to the SEC championship. But that Georgia team was brought to not 1, not 2, not 3, but 8 overtimes against their rival.
That was a crazy game.
Georgia Tech. So Georgia barely eked out Georgia Tech. They have been one play away from losing this game, but they pulled off a win, which was insane. I stayed up and watched it. It was awesome. But so, I mean, it's a rival game. It was insane. Georgia won. Georgia's guaranteed in the playoffs is what they told me. So this game is just trying to get further higher rankings. But we have a rematch. Georgia versus Texas. Now, this game, Texas is favored by 2.5 points right now, Caitlin. Texas, their only loss is to Georgia. Georgia, they've lost a couple of times, and that's okay. But this game being played in Atlanta, it's basically a home game for Georgia, but UT fans are traveling without a doubt. Texas is favored by 2.5 points. I want to hear how hot these guys are.
Yeah, what's your analogy on these two teams?
Right. So, Georgia, their team is stacked.
Okay.
Like when I say very stacked, like I can list 16 names right now off of their roster and a reason why. Colin Drake, basically my type. If he would have asked me to marry him right now, I'd say yes. I don't know him.
If you get a Caitlin doll in your DMs, hey, you know
please. What? Yeah, don't.
She is something, all right, worth a response.
Exactly. We have another lookalike, Luke Rabb. I don't know if you guys have seen Outer Banks, but he looks like Rave from Outer Banks. The girls know what I'm talking about. Really attractive looking guy. We even have, let's see, Wade Penn, and he looks like a guy that would just enjoy a really good bagel, right? He just looks like a guy that likes to enjoy the small things in life, like a breakfast bagel or a breakfast burrito.
A plain bagel guy.
Yeah, like just with cream cheese, like anything will just make him happy. And then on Texas side, we've got Arch Manning. Need I say more? I would love to shout out. I honestly didn't even know this kid went to my high school, and he's from Bernie until I saw the roster and it said hometown Bernie, and we went to the same high school. But McCoy Bruce, shout out, he made my list. We've got connections in Bernie, I suppose. Right? And then Michael Taft looks like he knows how to grill an insane steak. Okay?
Okay.
But overall,
Georgia
came in with 16 attractive players.
Yep.
Texas, 7.
Ooh.
So I'm going with Georgia on this one. And all the time, horns down, we don't like UT right now. I still have to with them, of course, because of last week. So horns down, saw them off. We don't like that. Also, half the people that were in College Station, might I add, wearing UT stuff, they didn't go to UT. All phonies. So call their butts out too.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm keeping track here. So we had Iowa State had 13 attractive to Arizona had like Arizona State had 7. Yep. Georgia had 17.
16.
So they're the hottest team so far. Texas also with another 7. I was curious that I'm surprised you didn't find more just classic Southern Texas boys that you're just like, yep.
Funny you say that because a lot of the players that I found attractive from Georgia are actually from Texas. Jillian Howley, he's a Texas boy. Colin Drake, my future husband, he's also from Texas. Yep. So they have they've got a lot of Southern boys. So,
Kate, is it the eyes, the chin, the smile?
A lot of the times, like, I've got my notes. It just says, very nice smile. His smile could make me faint. Who is his orthodontist? Just the cutest smile. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's their smiles, and then some of them, they have just such soft, sweet eyes. I think it's their eyes.
So that being, obviously, you're a smile gal. If their picture is just, like, stoic.
Yes. Some of them are just so and I've even mentioned one in Iowa State. I said he'd be attractive if he smiled more.
Wait a minute. We got to back this up. I think we just
got a smile for Caitlin, and it's got to be a good one.
We rolled right over the title of this episode. What is the orthodontist and smile statement?
I said, if his smile could make me faint, who is his orthodontist? And that's Justice Finkley from Texas. Oh my gosh. His teeth are amazing. Put in a picture, Dean. I don't know if you can do that, but Justice Finkley on Texas, whoever he is, an amazing smile.
That's amazing. But I am honestly shocked.
Josh, while you're doing your check, I'm gonna find this.
Bring him up. I was gonna say I'm glad that you really broke it down because you really did the research here, and I appreciate that because I thought for sure once I heard the criteria, I was like, oh boy, Texas is gonna have it. But those attractive Texas boys apparently went over to Georgia.
Honestly,
and, that's tough. And Ashley's cousin, I'm gonna text her as well and be like, I think you need to watch this episode. Like, she doesn't care about the first half. Maybe, who knows? She's gonna want to hear the breakdown. And you're 100%, Caitlin. I was gonna say, shout out to the ladies on this one. I was gonna say, just start the episode. I don't care if you start at the halfway point. You're gonna love this breakdown because you gotta respect the hustle.
And I should I'll give my list to Dean. Drop it in the link. He'll put it in so all the ladies can see my breakdown, and if you guys want to go look him up.
So what's his name again?
Justice Finkley. He's like one of the top, like on the roster.
On Texas.
One. Justice Finkley. He's a junior, public health. He's from Alabama. His teeth are so nice.
Nice. Long story short, this is going to be a rematch. This is going to be a very difficult game. This one gave me the most trouble, and the fact is Georgia just came off a tough game. They're going to have to play another very, very tough game against Texas, but they've played Texas before, and they kind of beat that ass a little bit, all right? They kind of beat up on them the first time that they played them because Georgia had something to prove. And Texas, I still is sitting here going, like, they've won some games that pretty darn good. Their only losses to Georgia. It is you've heard me in previous years and podcasts, it is very difficult to beat a good team twice, which makes me nervous that Georgia playing Texas is going to learn some things. They got some good coaching staff. It's not going to be a blowout this time around. It's just not going to happen. They're veterans and everything. But Ashley and I both agreed over the past couple of years, you cannot go away from Georgia playing in Atlanta. All right. It's a damn near home game for them, and they are ready to go. They still believe they're one of the best teams in the nation, and they're going to try and prove it. I'm going to go Georgia as well. Again, our
Nice.
picks are matching up.
Mhm.
Confidence, attractiveness exudes confidence. Georgia
Very
knows that they can beat them. And
true.
you know what? They're going to try and do it again. It's going to be a hard task, but I think Georgia can do it. They're a veteran team. They can do it. Let's see this man.
Yeah, his teeth are so insane.
Woo! Look at that
Yeah.
I
man.
agree. And then
I'm not really into earrings either, but like I can look past it with pearly whites like that.
Oh, absolutely. You don't need the shine of the earrings. You just need
No,
this.
shine of the teeth.
Oh
okay,
my
he's got a smirk also.
Yeah. See, and I like it when they smile like that instead of just like straight faced in their pictures trying to look tough. It's
Yep.
also really interesting. Some schools they need to get new photography. Like it's like Oregon, looking at their pictures kind of gave me like a headache because of how shiny they looked. And I'd
Ooh.
say Texas and Georgia their photos are great. All the Georgia guys were wearing a suit and tie, which made them look
Oh
even
man, dude, that
fine.
reminds me of even at Jacksonville State in Alabama with our baseball team, and they were taking headshots. Literally every single one of them, collared shirt.
Yep.
tie. I'm like, oh man, like
You know what? That does it. It's so simple, but it does it. Like Georgia's
it's
got
sharp.
16. Yeah.
Exactly.
Kirby
Now,
respects the game in Georgia.
and now the funny part is in the background that the photographer is not taking pictures of is guys literally loosening up the same tie, taking it off one head and putting it on
Yep.
the other. They're like one good knot, tighten it up, perfect. And they're all in gym shorts, waist down, 100%. They're just collared shirts, gym shorts, but you just need pecs and up, and you're golden.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay,
All right.
well, not so fast, both of you.
Numbers here. Let's get shout out for the nerds out there who
Yeah.
not bothered for them numbers.
They want the numbers. They're getting
Yeah.
tingly right now, waiting for the
Mhm.
numbers.
Bring it on.
First of all, yes, George. These two teams both have a really, really tough schedule. But Josh, you know where I come from. Penalties and turnovers, and Georgia turns the ball over. But the part that's overlooked here is how good Texas defense is. Scoring defense, number 3. Overall defense, number 2.
Pretty good.
This is the hard part. The numbers, Dalytics has Texas winning by 2.6.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, according to those numbers, 2.6 is greater than 2.5.
So I don't know where they're going to get the 2.6, but I'm going UT.
UT, all right.
Your
Well,
mom will be happy with me, Kate.
I was gonna say at least mom and dad are gonna be pretty content with your choice.
I feel I need to text Ryan, be like, dude, please listen to this episode. You're young.
Oh, dude, it's also it's fine. My dad knows. Like y'all know my fantasy football name.
Absolutely. No, and he's gonna die. I can hear him laughing watching this episode, so I cannot wait. I gotta
that chuckle. Yeah.
All right. Now, here we go off to the ACC,
Mm-hmm.
and shout out to Miami's head coach. Was it Miami's head coach? They won their rivalry game last week. They knew they didn't have a chance to get into the college playoff, and he's being interviewed. He won the game, and he goes, "You're welcome, Clemson." Like basically, him beating that team put Clemson in the ACC championship. Yep. And I just love that. He's like, dude, we won. You're welcome, Clemson. I'm going to go celebrate. And I'm like, hell yeah. That's the kind of guy I'd like to have a couple beers with and just chat with. But we got Clemson versus SMU. Soon to be alumni for you, Caitlin. SMU is favored 2.5 points. Let's hear the hotness.
Southern Methodist University.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say Matthew Hebner. He's a Midwest boy, and he looks like it, like in a very good way. He also looks like he goes to church. As far as hotness goes, and I'd hate to say this, SMU is really lacking.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough.
My list right now, I've only got 4 on SMU. Clemson, we've got a good list. Hogan Morton. Also, the names on Clemson, the names itself of these players are absolutely insane. So Hogan Morton, he looks like he's really good at algebra. He's also very attractive. Banks Pope, like what a name. You get attracted points just for the name. Yeah.
Wow.
Bubba Makati, whatever. Bubba thought he was attractive too.
You're either really ugly or really attractive with the name of Bubba.
There's nothing in between.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, you're a dog or you're like Ryan Gosling. One of those.
And then Cade Klubnik. He's from Texas, another Texas guy. He's kind of got a receding hairline, but I'm kind of here for it. I thought he was cute. He's on my list. So I'm sitting at Clemson. We've got 11 people on the attractive list. And this pains me because I am a pony girl. Like, I'm a Mustang, right? Pink Pony Club by Chaperone's one of my favorite songs. Like, pony up, you know? But that was also for my girls. I'm talking like speak y'all don't know about. But I'm going to have to go.
You think I know. Oh. Let me share a story that happened at work today. So hold on, let's just get your pick, Caitlin. You're going with Clemson, right?
I'm going with Clemson. Oh, and then Griffin Bat. He looks like an elf, but in a cute way. That was my notes.
Ooh, I respect that. Now, Caitlin, get this. This is a true story. It literally happened at work today. All right, had a hard Gen Z patient come on in. Okay, hard Gen Z, and they were hard Gen Z vocabulary. And I'm like, all right, I'm not great, but I can understand it. I can't speak it, but I can understand it type deal.
Yeah.
All right. I got a Slay King comment today.
Wow.
That's like one of the greatest things someone from Gen Z can say to you. So they must have really liked you.
Slay King, yeah. So I got Slay King today, and I'll tell you why. Is because I'm still in my scrubs right now, you know, just chugging it out here in Minnesota. I have my badge, and so the badge has my photo ID, and that's with my short hair, kind of like business attire. You've seen it. And today, I had my hair in full pony, kind of like, you know, like, well, like, you know, mid bun, kind of something like that.
Yeah. Half up, half down moment. We like it.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was wearing my glasses because I got glasses because small texts are getting harder to see.
Uh-oh.
So and it makes him look smarter.
It makes me look smarter, apparently. And this individual like kept like looking down at my chest, and I was like whatever, okay. She goes, I need a moment here, okay. You look nothing like your badge photo. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like this is what I looked like when I got hired. I grew out my hair and everything like that. She goes, oh, trust me. She goes, hair up, the glasses, Slay King. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Oh, let's go. And
okay, no, yeah. So yeah, I'm
riding that high the rest of the week.
That's all you. I mean, you did it. Yeah, like Slay. You owned it.
So, Kate, who are you going with?
I said Clemson. They got 11.
Just want to make sure that we were on. I didn't know if that story swayed you.
No, God, no.
I really want to go SMU, but the attractiveness doesn't lie.
Yeah, exactly. Me, this one was tough. Just because I know SMU is all hot right now, and you know Clemson's Clemson. But I'm going back to my roots. I'm going to keep it simple. I got to bring your own guts shirt. I rode the Clemson train back when they were hot, winning natty titles. I'm gonna ride the Clemson train into the playoffs. We are also gonna go Clemson. Can't get away from Caitlin right now. Okay, I'm trying to make up ground. It's just not happening because she's making great.
You could jump ship.
Nope, absolutely not. I was gonna say I got Ashley upstairs too. We're going with the same teams. All right, these are Ashley and Mai's pick, and I couldn't agree with them more. Caitlin's just solidifying how confident I am with these picks.
Okay, before we get into the Big Ten, and I won't go deep into analytics, but penalties, turnovers, Clemson, Dabo takes care of his team. And going back to episode 1, Josh,
Yep.
Clemson did not have one portal player come in.
They want to play for Dabo, man. He's a great guy.
That's pretty amazing. So Dalytics has Clemson by 5.5. That's definitely winning. I'm going with both of you.
Bingo.
Nice.
All right. I don't know if we're going to differ here, Caitlin. Probably not, but we'll see. All right. How are the men? This is straight up East Coast versus West Coast.
Mhm.
Vintage Big Ten.
Yeah, classic. Penn State versus Oregon. Oregon obviously favored by 3.5. All right. Let's see how the men stack up.
So Penn State would like to shout out to Colin Dinkins. Also, very nice smile. And this is the kind of smile that like you used to see when you were a kid and you would go into an ice cream shop and the worker giving the kid that like the workers at ice cream shops, they just have such friendly features.
Authentic.
That's Colin. Yes, that's him.
Yep.
Jackson Pretis, he's got kind of like a weirdly long neck, but I'm kind of here for it. You know how like giraffes, they have, Darwinism, the tallest survive. I think that's kind of the way. Bobby Ayers, he looks like he just loves dogs, right? He looks like on his weekends, he goes and volunteers at the dog pound. So
I was going to say, that's big for you. That's big.
yeah, right? Dogs are amazing. So Penn State's sitting at 6 attractive players. Oregon,
not a high.
not high, but SMU had 4, so Penn State's doing better than SMU.
Thank goodness.
Oregon, this guy Terrence Ferguson. Listen, I'm not really into redheads, but he does it. He does it. I'll make the exception.
Well, I gotta see that Terrence Ferguson.
Yep. I mean, it's another one. Pull him up.
Yep.
Of course, these are all
right
just
now.
my
Oh, I
opinions
see him.
as well.
Oh, he's got the dirty stash.
He's got, but he's got like a rugged redhead look that makes you kind of just like not want to mess with him.
Okay, he's kind of a badass.
Right?
Oh,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Caitlin, that's a good pick. Woo! I see you.
That's like a man and a half right there.
Yeah, he's been made fun of as a redhead, and everyone who has made fun of him has regretted it instantly.
Exactly. We also, Dylan Gabriel, he looks like he's got a very, very, very great face washing routine at night. His skin looks great. Austin Novosad, crazy. His name is Austin, and he's from Austin, so like how can I not pick him? I thought that was just iconic. Yep. And he also 100% looks like he could be an engineer. And then Luke Basso, he looks like a guy that could just tell an amazing joke, right? Just a great personality.
Makes you laugh.
Not least, Luke Dunn with the blue eyes. He put Oregon sitting at 8. So Penn State's at 6, Oregon's at 8. I'm going with Oregon on this one.
That's a close race.
Ooh. To win and cover.
What we've established here is Georgia out of these 8 teams, Georgia has the hottest team.
Yeah.
That's dangerous going into the playoffs, all right?
Yeah.
That's dangerous. Now, Caitlin, great pick. Great pick. Oregon has been dominant, even in close games like Ohio State. They still won, even though Ohio State had a chance to win, whatever. Ohio State dominated Penn State. Therefore, Oregon will also dominate Penn State. I am surprised that this is only a 3.5-point spread. That is my true, honest opinion. I think Oregon's going to win this game by possibly 2 touchdowns. Oregon has been riding high. They've been the longest-standing number 1 team this season. There's no way they're giving it up. Oregon will win. They will go into the playoffs, number 1 seed, hotness and all. Go Ducks.
Yep.
My heart and my football head was with both of you because sorry, Kate, I did not look at them. And by the way, going back to week 11 in our fantasy league, I'm still hacked at you because my team scored 158.
Yeah, that's a good week.
And lost.
Yep. To none other than suck these TDs. Yep.
What can I say?
So anyway, I entered the numbers and I was totally, I'm not even listening. I was totally shocked because in my head, I was going with both of you, but Penn State's defense is so good, and they match up evenly all the way across the board. Strength of schedule, wins, turnovers, except when they get to penalties. And Lanning's, I like him as a coach, but they make some Josh, we talked about it before. They are the new USC of getting that dumb penalty after you get a big play.
You're talking about Oregon?
Yep.
Hey, I was gonna say they haven't made too many of them. If they're they're the only undefeated team out there.
But I'm going. Adalytics has Penn State winning by 1.5.
And just like that. So, Caitlin, I'm not making up any ground on the guest pickers, and that's okay. I'm all for it. Those are some great picks. But I was going to say, if we go perfect, you do make up 2 points. Maybe we'll see, but we got some confidence picks in here, Caitlin. We got some confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's one of your teams that you picked? Now, if you're going off the hotness scale, I think the obvious is Georgia. That's just me.
Yeah.
But it's your pick. What you pick any team. What team are you so confident will win this game?
I don't want to go Georgia. I know my numbers say Georgia.
Right. That's okay. That's why it's your pick. You do whatever you want.
I'll go Iowa State, the second hottest team on my list.
Okay, fair. Yeah, you don't want to give Georgia too much credit.
Yeah,
but
no.
Iowa State, the second hottest team.
And talk about Georgia and Texas also. Those two schools are all very similar in fan base, where half of their fans didn't even go to the university. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a very interesting game where you have a bunch of drunk Texas fans, drunk Georgia fans. Neither of them got a degree from either school, but both of them are loud and proud. So can't wait to see that, especially on Barstool. You know we're going to be seeing some videos there.
Yes,
absolutely. They're the drunkest, loudest, most obnoxious ones, and they're like, "Bro, did you even go here?" That grew up in Georgia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, close.
I'm from Texas.
Yeah, I am going to go confidently with Oregon. I like I said, I'm surprised at not a 10-point spread. I think Oregon's going to dominate that game. I will after their performance against Washington at Washington. Yeah, no, I'm going to take Oregon for sure.
It was close between Adalytics. It was a close one between Iowa State and Clemson. I'm going Clemson. This is just too easy taking both of these. Dabo will win. And that's the way it'll be.
Caitlin, so obviously you and I have, same picks, different confidence picks. So we could get different scores.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously we're going to go 4 for 4, which is going to be beautiful. And
really?
Yep, it's going to happen. And you are going to make up that gap between guest pickers and Dean. And you're going to get them back neck and neck. And I'm just feeling it for you, for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make it happen this week.
For all the attractive players that I picked, and I'm trusting.
Just for them.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Even the ones that aren't playing, they're still part of the team. They still give aura and that energy and sexiness to the team.
And that hotness there that you just you can't teach. You're just born with it.
Exactly. Just a natural, some Gen Zs would call it Riz, Natural Riz.
Now, I was going to say, you have the attractiveness. That's going to get them the foot in the door. Now, these boys start talking, Caitlin. They better be on their game because they could say one sentence and you'd be like, you're dumb.
Oh, wait. You got something beyond the smile?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what?
But, Caitlin, You're what he's saying is you're not just all looks. All right, they're gonna have some brain. They gotta have some riz with them.
Something beyond the smile.
100%. Yes, beyond the smile, especially, and this is still physical, but like especially the ones that weren't smiling, they're probably not smiling for a reason because they got janked teeth. So maybe I was being too generous, but you're right. And okay, some of them I even noted. I said some of them look smart.
Yeah. There's your boy Khalil Dinkins.
There was a better picture that I saw.
He looks like a very stoic, strong man.
Look, wait. Here. Wait, I'm grabbing the link. So all the ladies, because this is the ladies episode. This is what you should call it, the ladies episode.
Yeah, call up the orthodontist, okay? Because we're about to look at smiles here. Dad, she already did a classic YouTube thing. Wait, yeah, throw that link out there. There it is. Look at Caitlin Dahl's Google Docs right here. All right.
Please,
just make look. All right, if you want some people to look at, this is
wow, look at, see, that's your version
insane,
of
low, cute smile. Gold looks like a golden retriever. Now, I've never been told I look like a golden retriever, but I've been told multiple times that I have the personality of a golden retriever. So take that as a win as well.
Yeah.
That's a lot there.
That's amazing.
I did do my research. I'm not joking. I came in this thing and I wanted to win.
You would. Eric's just cute.
I know some of them. It's like I don't really know how to describe it, and they're not. They're like over being like just middle attractive, so I just put cute.
Okay.
Yeah. That.
But some of them, like you could definitely
smile could make me faint. Who is his orthodontist? That is a quote that will go down in Sport Doll's history as just immaculate. Immaculate. Unbelievable. Well, Caitlin, as always, and as I anticipated, you did not disappoint by any means. You brought the energy and exactly what I thought you would to this podcast, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Hey, thank you guys for having me. I actually had a lot of fun looking at the rosters. And I'm happy you guys only did this week, the conference champs, because it took time to look through all of them. And, I had to kind of analyze what I thought their personalities would be like, too. So this got really personal for me, and I enjoyed it. And, this was fun, making my picks.
Glad it was only four teams, because that would have been a lot of work last week.
It's like a deep dive.
Yeah.
I mean, when you asked me to be a guest, I'm not gonna come in dilly-dally, half-assed it. No, I went out looking at the boys, did my research.
I'll look at the boys and see what happens. And so I was gonna say, we'll see what the outcome is, and if it hits gold, shout out to anyone who wants to do well in picks. Go through the roster, look at the smiles, look at the attractiveness.
Pretty privilege. Yep.
That will lead to success.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. You, I feel bad making you dig deeper like you had to.
I feel it was worth it.
What?
It's for the podcast.
Yeah.
This was 100% like I wanted to go through it, so we're good.
This was homework we wanted to do.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't mind this one bit. I was kind of like, I was like, oh wow, like, oh, he's cute.
Oh, this is great. Wow.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I could do this all day. I could make a book based with, like, all of my picks, honestly.
Well, the proof will be in the pudding.
Well, Caitlin, as always, you are incredible. Don't change a bit, all right?
I won't.
I won't. And in classic Sports Dolls podcast breakdown, we put our hands in front of the camera. We break it down like a huddle. So put that hand right about here. And we're going to go Sports Dolls on 3. 1, 2, 3, Sports Dolls. Boom.